Okay. So how to join the strings? Let's go to our program. To join the strings, we are going to use plus operator. Basically, a plus operator will join the any two strings and it will return another string. A new string you will get. New string will form. So once you join string plus string, both will be combined and gives a new string. If you join string plus number, that also returns a string value. Number plus string, you will get a string value. So anything, the plus operator is used as a concatenation operator, joining operator. So let's go and create a new class and string demo. Simple, I'm taking very simple program I'll write. So string demo, how to join strings. So we can join strings using plus operator. So plus operator is used to join the strings. I'm converting this into multi-line commenting. So string plus string means equal to, you will get a string only. So string plus number equal to string only. So number plus string equal to, what is the output you will get?
String.
So this is the structure. So number plus number, so addition operator will be, the plus will act as addition operator. Plus will act as an addition operator. Okay. So that's the plus operator here is the string after or a string before anything. The plus operator, what type of operator is this?
Concatenation.
Or joining operator. Concatenation operator or joining operator. So let's go and target this now. So I'm declaring one local variable. So string S. How can you declare the string variable? String value?
Within double quotes.
In double quotes.
So I'll join one more string variable. I'll declare string S1 equal to select. If you join two strings, you will get a new string. So that is, I'm going to store another variable, S plus S1. So you can see joining
Two strings.
yes with
S1.
plus S1.
S1.
So result is, see how many, so can you observe here the plus operator? So string plus variable plus again string plus string variable plus string again S2 string variable. See, you're going to use more the plus operator in the print statement because this is a string value. I already told you. Anybody still having doubt on this? Anything in the double quotation mark that will be treated as a
String.
String only. That you want to join with yes. So what do you need to do first?
Plus
After double quotes, you have to plus operator. Then your variable name you write. Then the variable value will come. Java will come here. Then this Java I want to join with this string. Again, this string I want to join with S1. S1 I want to join with this one. This one I am joining with S2. So this is all the joining operator. Here also joining operator. Okay. Next. I'll show you next example. String plus number. So I'll get a string S3 equal to S plus 2 plus 3. Can you tell me what is the output?
Java 2.3, sir.
What is the output?
Java 2.3.
So what will happen first, always remember, left to right, if it is a plain, no brackets, nothing, then left to right, the calculation will happen. First two will calculate. First these two will calculate. First these two will calculate. What is the output of these two?
Yes, Java 2. Java 2.
Java 2. So this output is going to join with the 3. So Java 2 plus 3, Java 2, 3 you will get. So this is the how you can see the output. You can see here. So Java 2, 3. And this is the Java Selenium. Right? Next. So different scenario. I'll try different scenario. String S4 equal to S plus bracket 3 plus 4. So how many of you know Bodemus rule?
Sir,
Bracket.
bracket,
Bracket will be calculated.
bracket of division.
First in this expression, which one will calculate
Bracket.
first?
3 plus
Bracket
4
will calculate
calculated,
first.
but
So now 3 and 4 in between this plus will act as a what?
7.
Joining.
Joining.
Addition operators.
Joining
Addition
operator.
Addition.
Addition.
Between numbers, number plus number, the plus will act as a,
Addition operator.
so 3 and 4 in between plus act as addition. So this output you will get a 7. So this will be 7. Now this is a string plus 7. So what is the output you will get?
String. Java 7, sir.
Java 7.
Java 7 you will get. So that's the how we can. So S4 value is just print plus, again see I'm joining with the plus operator, S4. So many times I'm using the string plus the variable name. Next. Can you tell me now what is the output?
9 Java.
And Java.
So what I told you, there is no brackets. Then what is the procedure?
From left it will
Right to right.
calculate.
Side
It will
So
calculate.
left to right. In the left to right, first two will calculate first. What are the first two? 4 and 5.
4 plus
4 and 5 is a numbers or strings?
numbers.
Numbers.
So that means 9 plus S,
9.
9 Java, you will get it. Okay, good. Next, string S6 equal to can you tell me now what is the output?
2.5 Java, sir.
Java, sir.
Java, sir.
So now it is what is happening?
Two is a
Now this is a string.
780.
String.
Also string.
So
And
these
S
two
also
first
string.
will join. Then you will get output of 2, 5 in string format. Then that string plus string, another string you will get. So
2.5 Java.
So I'll write this expression output, I'll write as it is, okay? See how it is changing. Expression output is plus S6. Next. First one, string S7 equal to, so I'll write a bigger expressions, okay? 3 plus 2. Plus 4 plus 1. Yeah. This is not required. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the output?
Java
Java
541.
541. Java 541.
No, sir. 541.
Yeah, 541.
Java
Java 541.
541.
541. That's the output. So that's all how you can join the strings. So I'm just stopping here. Okay, let's move on to the variables.
Okay, sir.
Okay, plus S. Okay, so that's it. Strings, we just need to understand how we are joining. Can you tell me this? Few more I want to explain. So what is the output you will hear? You will get here. What is the output you will get here?
Java 541.
So what is the
Java
64 line output?
S7.
Java
S7.
Java
S7.
35 line output.
5.
Java 541.
Okay. So this one is only,
String.
what is the output of this print statement?
S7.
S7, sir.
7, sir.
Just S7. Just S7. Why it is only S7?
It's a
String.
string. The double quotes,
String.
anything will be
Double
plus
quotes.
string.
Strings.
It is in the double quotes. Double quotes, whatever is there, that will print as it is for us. The print statement, what it will print the S7. Cursor will move to next line. First, it will print this S7. Then it will move. But here, S7 variable value, this is not a string, so variable. So variable, what is this variable value? That will print and cursor will move to next line. Let's see that. Right? See that. So that's all about. So let's move on to the next one. Variables. It's a very important topic. You can see under labels, variable topic. So what is a variable? Variable is a sub-entity of a class which is used to store data. You can store only single data in the variable concept. So why we will use variable? To store the data. Why you need to store the data? You need to reuse the data somewhere else in your programs. In order to store that and reusing purpose, we are using a variable concept. So variable has three characteristics: type, name, and value. So the type of variable determines. So to distinguish that, you're just so type will tell you what kind of value you are storing there. Say a float, integer, character, string, what type of value you are storing. So name tells you to distinguish from one variable, one data to another data, how you can distinguish. So with a name, giving a unique name. So, and value, you are just a specific object and data you are storing in the variable. That's what value means. So these are the naming conventions. So let me give you what are the naming conventions. Variable name should start with alphabet lowercase. It contains alphanumerics. It contains alphanumerics. So it contains alphanumerics. Variable name should not start with a number. So it should not start with a number. Variable names cannot contain spaces. Plus, minus, all this should not be there in the variable names. No special characters, much. So here are some of the examples of declaring a variables. Int age. See, all the first letter is in alphabet. So it's a type of int. So double salary. Declaring variable of type double. Boolean is married. String name. Integer array numbers. Numbers is an array. Array name. Okay, so that's how to declare a variables. See, the values, how you can initialize this. You declared here only. This is all declaration of variable. But assigning a value, you are initializing a variable. So you are declaring and initializing a value. So double salary, declaring and initializing a value. Boolean is married, true. So string name John Smith. Int numbers, the arrays. String college name JNTU, byte B4 equal to 25. So these are all how. See, this is one. It's not valid. Why it's not valid?
9. Number
Why it's not valid? Here also number is there.
as number.
Numbers. Yes, sir. Starting number.
Starts with number, sir.
Name
So the
starts with
variable
Variable
name
name
should
starts with.
not start with a number. The variable name
Should
not start with a number. It should start with an alphabet only.
alphabets.
So this is the one, how to declare a variable. Data type, variable name. So data type, variable name. Data type, variable. This is the variable declaration. So that's all about. Let's move on to the what are the different type of variables. Everybody knows, right? What is single, equal to, and double equal to difference.
Yes, sir.
So how many?
Training and compare.
Yes, sir.
Training,
Assignment operator, this is
Single is
assigning and
assigning and
comparison.
Assignment operator, complement.
Anybody having doubt on this in the class? What this single equal to will do, what this double equal to will do. I'll pick some of the persons if you're not talking, okay? If you have any doubts, please let me know. I'll explain one more time. So don't hesitate to ask. So
No, sir.
we're good?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let
Yes,
me
sir.
pick one. Okay, so variables are three types: static variables, non-static variables, local variables. So local variable means if you declare any variable inside the method body or block body, any block inside or any method inside. If you declare any variable, then that variable is called local variables. So what is the condition first? If you want to say something local variable, where it should be declared?
Inside the method body.
Method
Inside the method. Inside the method body, inside the block body. If you declare
That is the
any
very
variable inside the
important.
method body or block, that will treat it as a local variable.
So it should be declaration inside the method body or declare and assign in the method body or block body. So both should be inside the method body only or block body only. Either declaration or a declare and assign. Both must be in this method inside any method. It doesn't matter. Okay, make sure that is so following that. Local variables are accessible within the same method only, not outside the method. Where you can access the local variables?
Within the same.
Within the method only.
Within that method only you can use them, not outside the methods. Local variables are allocated memory in stack memory. So which memory they will be allocated? In the
Stack.
stack memory. How many of you remember our JVM architecture?
Sir, I remember, sir.
Hmm?
I remember, sir.
What are the memory areas?
Method area, heap area, stack area, sir.
Only 3 you told, total 5 or
PC registers, native method stack, sir.
PC register, native method stack.
Native
Good.
method stack.
Okay.
That method area will store a static variables.
Yeah. So let me show you. These are the memory areas. So method area, heap area, stack area, PC register. So all the local data will come and store in this stack memory. So where local variable data will store? In the stack memory. So each thread, one frame will create. This is called one frame, stack frame, stack frame, stack frame. So in the multiple stacks, see thread 1 has multiple stacks. So each stack frame, that means that method, what or the method you are calling, that method inside what are the local variables are there, those local variables will come and store there. Once that method execution is over, then that will be destroyed from the stack. That is the reason you cannot use this local variable data in another method, because it is removing from the memory. If it is there in the memory, then only we can use, right? If it is not there, we cannot use. So why you cannot use local variables in another method? The reason is, once this frame execution is over, that method execution is over. Once this method execution is over,
The memory will destroy.
so once this method execution is over here, see method starts here, method is ending. If once this reaches this end of method, all the local, these are all local variables, right?
Yes, sir.
These are all local variables, all will be destroyed. You cannot use these local variables in another method. So these are all data type, local variable equal to value. I'm assigning a value also. So these are all local variables means. Are we good? Are any questions here?
No questions.
So for local variables, a default value is never assigned. So you have to assign a default value for the local variables. If you don't assign, and you cannot use that local variables. So before using local variables, make sure you assign the value for that local variable. If it is not assigned any value. So what is the local variable syntax? Data type?
Data type
Variable name equal to value.
So you can apply the final keyword on the local variables also. What is meant by final keyword? So I discussed about the static keyword. I'm going to discuss now final keyword. Final is a non-access modifier keyword. So when you apply the final keyword on the variables, the variable value cannot be changed to some other value. Whatever assigned, that's a final. Whatever assigned, that's a final. So that's the local variable concept. So final local variable syntax is final data type variable name equal to value semicolon. Final data type variable name. What is the difference between this variable difference and this one?
First one is
Final
local
keyword
variable.
added
First one we can
local variables.
change the value, sir. We can reassign the value.
Here
In
we will not change the value.
final, we cannot reassign the value.
That's the
The
difference. See, if I make any variable as a final,
We cannot change the value.
So we cannot change this S1 value. See, for example, in the next line, if I try to reassign the value to different, so what is happening? You got a
Error.
compile time error. You got a compile time error saying that. So you cannot.
Declare S1.
So see that what is the error? The final local variable S1 cannot be assigned. It must be blank or not using a compound assignment. Assignment must not be done for the final variable. But this value I can change. So normal local variable value you can change, but final variable value cannot be changed or you cannot assign a new value. First to assign, this is the final. For S1, always it's going to be final. Selenium only. It's not going to change. So why you will use a final keyword is to declare constants, which is not going to change. That time you will use a final variable. Okay, any questions here? That's all about final variables. The instance variables. So instance variables means, or non-static variable is, if you declare any variable outside the method and inside a class. Please read the definitions 20 or 100 times until you remember this sentence. If you remember the sentence, declaration of variable is very easy for you. You won't make mistakes. And these statements, if it is not in your mind, it's very difficult to code it. You must know first these two statements, mandatory, you need to remember that. If you're not remembering, it's going to be a mistake in the program. Definitely you will make a mistake in the program if you don't remember these two statements. So, Nikita, can you tell me what is meant by this meaning of this? Local variables are accessible within that method only, not outside the method. What is meant by this?
These local variables are accessed within the method, sir. That means only we can use inside the method, not outside the method.
Now, can you tell me, can I use these local? So this is the local variable, right? Local to which method? These are S, so S1, S2, S3. These are local to which method? Which method inside you declared, madam?
Public.
Main method.
Main method. Sir.
Main method, sir.
Main method, sir.
According to this statement, can I use this yes in this M1 method? Sandeep? According to this statement, can I use this variable in this M1 method or not? If yes, what is the reason? If no, what is the reason? No response. Good, very good boy. Nikita, I am coming back to you. Can I use this yes in this M1 method? Read the statement properly. Read word by word properly. Can you read it, spell out quickly?
Local variables are accessible within that method only, not outside the method. Okay. We cannot use for other methods.
So now this is
private method, sir. That is public.
This one is, so this one is local to main method.
Yes.
Right? Because I declared inside the main method.
Yes, sir.
Now this, can I use this in the M1 method or not?
No.
Not, sir.
No.
That is what I am asking. So one method local variables cannot be used in another methods. Then if you want to use in both the methods, what do you need to do? You should
Make it
declare
as a global.
Instance.
global variable that is either instance variable or static
Or
variable.
static.
So that is the main concept. So you need to get it. So what is instance variable or non-static variable? So if you declare any variable outside the method and inside a class without a static keyword, then that variable is called instance variable. Read again, the wordings are very important here. If you remember this, you will come to know where to declare instance variables. Where to declare instance variables? Can you tell me here now, based on this? Read this. If you declare any variable outside the method means where?
Below the class.
Below the class.
And also still telling inside a class without.
Static keyword.
So follow all these words and try that. Where can I declare outside the method means this is the area.
Inside.
Inside the class.
So this is also outside the method.
Method.
So this is also outside the method inside a class.
Yes.
Inside a class. So here I can declare like this access modifier.
Yes.
So data type,
Variable name.
variable
Variable
name.
name equal to
Equal to value.
Value.
So access modifier I can declare private. Data type I can declare integer. Variable name A and true I can declare. So I can declare again. Data type is long.
Oh.
L.
So is this a local variable or global non-static variable?
Non-static
variables.
variable.
Non-static variable. But what is the access modifier I used for this? L variable?
Default.
Default.
That's it. Good. Are we good now?
Yes, Yes. sir.
So this is the data type. Variable name.
Name equal to value. Okay. So that's the instance variable. Where you can use this instance variable. Okay, you declared, fine. Globally you declared. Where you can use them? Instance variables are accessible in instance or non-static methods only. Remember that. Where you can access this instance variables?
In non-static method.
Instance non-static methods only. But main method is an instance variable, instance method or a static method?
Static method. Sir.
Static method, sir.
Now M1 is a static method or instance method?
Static.
Static
Yes.
method.
So now I'll declare one more. So now this one is a static or a non-static method?
Non-static.
Non-static.
So now I can use this global variables, this A and L in this method, but not in the static methods. So that's what I'm saying here. Very clearly read that. Non-static variables are accessible within any non-static
Static
method.
method only.
Non-static variables are not accessible within any static method. That is what you have to by heart this or read in number of times. You won't forget this. This is what you need to do. If you don't remember this theory part, the implementation never going to come for you. You don't know how to use the variables. If you don't have these statements in your mind, never going to use them. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Default values. The JVM will assign the default values for the instance variables. See, now I didn't assign any value here, right? Then what is the default value here?
0, sir. For numbers 0.
Huh?
For numbers but default value is 0, sir.
Default value is
0. This is false.
False,
Most
sir.
of the
False.
going to be
value is
false.
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 For strings, it's a null.
Null.
See, now this is a
Null.
null. That's the, so null will be there. So now you will confuse. That's why I changed that. This is the local variable. Also, you have S. If I put a S, you will confuse. That's why I changed the variable name, unique name. I'm giving. So even if you don't assign, it will provide a default values. That's what I have given. All primitive has a 0. So in the case of object, default value is null. In case of strings, default value is null. In case of Boolean, default value is false. So, okay, I create a lot of, these instance variables, right? When the memory allocates for this instance variables. So instance variables are allocated memory on the heap. So where, which memory they will store?
Heap area.
Heap area.
Yeah. So local variables will store where? In which memory?
Stack area.
Stack area.
When this value will store in the heap area. So for the instance variables, when the memory allocates for them, only when you create object for the class. So when the memory allocates for this instance variables in the heap area, for every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created in the memory. Every object. You can create a number of objects for a class. For each object, the memory will create here, the memory will create here, and that memory, how many instance variables are there, all will go and copy there. So if you create one more object, object 2, same instance variables will come and store in the object 2 also. So each time you create a new object, same instance variables and instance methods will come and store in this heap memory area. And each object is a different address. Like our houses, right? Each house address is different. Like each memory is going to allocated for each object when you create a new object. So that's how the memory allocates for this instance variables. So instance variables are allocated memory at the time of creating an object for the class only at runtime. Now we have two categories, right? Compile time, runtime. So the memory allocates only when you create object for the class. If you are not creating object, no memory allocates for the instance variables and instance methods. Hence, these variables are also called object level variables or member variables we call them. That's a different name for this. So what is the syntax of non-static variable? Access modifier, data type, variable name, value. So non-static final variable syntax, access modifier, final, data type, variable name equal to value semicolon. So protected, see that access mode protected, final, data type is a string, variable name is S4 and equal to Java. Why I am putting here a double quotes Java? Because the data type is
String.
okay. So that's all about this. How to say here examples you take simple examples. Say I declared global variables here. That's the instance variables. This is the also instance variable. See, this is the non-static method. I can use AB in the M3 non-static method inside. This output I am storing in the some variable, local variable. This is the local variable. Why I am saying local? Data type.
Variable name.
Value.
So the declaration for sum is happening inside the M3 method. But where is the declaration for A and B?
Outside methods.
Outside M3 method. So outside M3 method, it happened declaration and assignment. That means below the class, outside the method, without static keyword. So that kind of variables, what kind of variables those are?
Global
Instance.
instance variable.
Instance variable or non-static variables. This is the non-static variable or local variable, this one?
Non-static.
Non-static variables. Default
This
non-static.
one?
Non-static variables.
Non-static variables.
Non-static variable, because outside the methods, below the class, without static. Then what is the access modifier we used for these two?
Default.
Default.
Default access modifier we used. Good, very good. So then even M4 also, see, one-time declaration, but you're using multiple methods, C, A and B. So that's the one variable if you want to use in multiple methods, multiple non-static methods. Then what kind of variable you have to declare?
Non-static variable or
Static variable. If that is unique queue for each object, you declare as a non-static variable and use that variable in both all the non-static methods. Can I use in this method, static method inside this non-static variable?
No.
No, sir.
Now what will happen if you use?
It will throw an error message.
See, I'm using. So what is happening?
Local
No.
variable cannot be used in static.
Read that. Don't assume.
Make a static.
Cannot make a
Cannot
static
make a
reference
static
to the
reference to
non-static
non-static
field. To quick fixes available.
So that means it is saying non-static variable. This is the statement I told you very clearly. This is the statement.
Non-static variable.
Non-static variables are not
Accessible within static.
Within any static.
Static method.
But what I am doing here,
In static method we are using non-static.
Non-static variables we are using static.
non-static variable, that is wrong, right? It is clearly saying this statement. You should not access them in the static methods. But what I am doing, I am trying to access. And the message is also very clearly saying, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field A. Non-static field A cannot be used inside the static method. So that's what I told. That's wrong. You cannot use that. Directly, you cannot call non-static variable in the non-static static methods. But in the non-static method, I can use. See that? Are you getting any error?
No, sir.
errors.
The why you're getting here and where you're not getting here.
Static.
That is a static.
The M2 method we are M2 is a non-static method, sir. In the non-static method, we can use non-static variables.
That is the simple. Non-static method inside, you can use a non-static variable, no issues. Same category. But if you use a non-static data in the static methods, it will throw error. Both are a different category, right? That's why they will throw error. Are we good?
Yes.
Doubt? Okay, let's move on to the static variables. So what is mean by a static variable? If you declare any variable as a static, then that variable is called static variable. Static variables are declared outside the methods, below the class, with the static keyword. See that way, how meaningful that statement. If you declare any variable inside the class means this is the one. Okay, this is the area, right? Inside the class means this is the area. And outside the methods. And this is the area outside the methods means. With the static keyword. It's very, very clear. With the static keyword. So this is the with the static keyword. So how meaningful that is, see that. That's why I'm saying follow our rules and formulas and read our notes several times, and then you won't make mistakes, right? See, all the data types I'm using, char I used, boolean I used, string I used, integer, long I used. So let me use one more also. Protected static load equal to 4.5 capital F. So this is the all static variables. But static variable where you can use
Inside a class and outside
Inside the
a
class.
Outside a method.
static keyword.
Anywhere.
Declaration you are telling, madam. Declaration and assignment I am not asking. I already told declaration and assignment. Where you can use, okay, you declared and no assigned a value, but then where you will use that data?
Can use,
Only in static.
can use in anywhere.
So static means I think you haven't read a static keyword about static keyword.
It's a class variable.
So you are missing the static keyword. That's one of the famous interview question. And you're missing means you're losing basics. What I told you, static means what?
Class variable.
That's okay. But the class variable means what? What the static means, first of all. Did you
For
ever think
common
about
things,
what is
we
static?
use static.
If some properties is common to all, then we can make it as a static cell. Then it won't allocate extra memory cell.
Okay. Then
Can use methods and variables.
you can use the static keyword where you can use the static keyword.
In methods, variables,
Methods and variables.
and
Methods and variables. One more.
blocks.
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 So these three places only you can use the static keyword. Either you can use the static variable, you can use it in the variable declaration static keyword, in the method declaration you can use, and blocks, static block. Yesterday I have shown you. So this is the static keyword is mainly when something is common, then you will use a static keyword. If that is not common, don't declare it as a static. If it is unique, go for the non-static. If it is common, go for the static. So that's all about static keyword. And the static keyword mainly going to allocate memory in the method area. When the class is loaded, after loading, all the static data will go and store in this method area memory. But what time it is before running the program itself, it is loading there only once. Only one time memory allocates. So static variables have to be declared at the class level and cannot be declared at the method level. Can you use static keyword for the local variables?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can you use static final keyword for the local variables?
Yes, sir.
No.
Final variable you can use anywhere. Any variable you can use. Local variables you can use. Static variable you can use. Non-static variable also you can use final keyword. Final keyword, what is telling? You cannot change that.
Change.
Just you cannot modify that value. It's a constant. You cannot touch it. Once you assign the value, you cannot touch it. You cannot change it. That's a final is telling final. This is the final value for that variable. At least understand like that, the meaning, final. You cannot change it. That's about final keyword. So static variable gets memory only once in the class area at the time of class loading. Only once it will allocate. So static variables are accessible in any method, static method or non-static method, because it's a common, right? It's common to all. So you can use in both the methods. Somebody told only in the static methods. No, wrong. Okay. It's a common property to all objects. That's why company name of employees, college name of students is the best examples. Company name is common. That's why you have to declare company name always as a static variable. College name of students, college name you have to declare as a static variable. Why you have to declare them, I clearly explained. If you don't declare, what will happen, I already explained in the static method time already. Please go and refer that video if you still have a doubts. So static keyword is very, very crucial, very important interview question, that one. Don't neglect that. Still basics are not there, and that's going to be a bigger problem for you. You should know each and every keyword. That's what I'm saying. Void keyword, static keyword, and the syntaxes. So what is static variable syntax? Access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to value. So final static variable, access modifier, final static, data type, variable name equal to value. So these are all the final variable values can be declared in the cap letters, and words are joined with underscore. That's a normal variable values starts with lowercase, but final variable names, all letters should be in cap letter and words must be connected with underscore. That's all about static variables. Any questions here? So what is the difference between static variables and non-static variables? So static variables, they can access them using class name. So where we have seen this word, this statement, where we have seen, can you tell me?
Class.
While creating a class, we can use statics.
Class names.
Dot out dot print.
You are not understanding my question. So this point I have proved.
System dot out dot like.
Excellent. Super. What inside class, sir? System dot, I proved that. What is this statement? Understand this statement. They can access. That means static variables can access them using class name.
Outside the class.
I proved that, right? I proved that system dot out, system dot in, system dot err. I proved there this statement. That means that class. System is a class. System class inside the out variable, in variable, err variable are static variables. How I call them? How I called out variable and in variable and error variable?
Static variables. With the class name.
With the class name. What is the class name? That in, out, error variables are class name?
System.
System. So that's why system dot out. So you have to read and read that one. Only Lavanya, only one person is answering out of 20 people. The basics are missing. I think drastically you're missing the basics. You can see that very clearly. Nobody out of one person. Something you're just reading, namesake, I think. You're not understanding the wordings. That's a dangerous. You're all in danger zone, I think. I told you very clearly, we can connect with me and explain me, but nobody joined, nobody connected. Just relaxing, chilling. Good people. So non-static variables, they can be accessed only using objects. You have to use object reference to call non-static variables and non-static methods. So static variables can access them within the static methods as well as non-static methods. Non-static variables can be accessed only in non-static methods. So static variables allocate memory only once while loading the class. So non-static variable get memory each time you create object. When the object is created, memory allocates for the non-static variables also. So now static variables are shared by all the objects or instances of a class. And non-static variables, each object has its own copy of, see, read this. Each object has its own copy of non-static variables. So it's a lot of meaning is there in this sentence. I don't know how many of you understood. If I create a, for example, I want to ask this. I created 10 objects for this class. So object 1, object 2, object 3. So these are the non-static variables, right? How many times this will go and copy there?
10 times.
Only once, sir.
Non-static.
Where are you, Kiran? Where are you? You're not understanding this statement. Each object has its own copy of non-static variables.
Okay.
What I told you, 10 objects I told.
Okay.
10?
Yeah, 10 times.
So 10 times object 1, this all variables will go and copy in object 1. Again, object 2, these all variables will go and copy there. Object 3, all these variables will go and copy there. So that's why you understand the statements. Each object has its own copy of non-static variables.
Okay.
For each object, it's a unique queue. It's a unique queue. It's not common.
No, only for static.
So each object address is different. Memory address is different. I'm telling you, house example also I have given. Each house has the same ID house number. If you take one apartment, so do you have a same house number?
No, sir.
Then it's a simple here also. Each object has a unique queue address, and that same copy will go and store in that memory address. If you want to access that objects, and you have to use that object reference dot that variable, that method. So static variables have a global scope, and these are the only for non-static methods inside only can access. So that's it. And so if you want more information, I have given here. So go through that. And final variable. I just want to cover quickly final variables. So final variable you can use on the class, method, and variable. That means you can create a final class, final method, final variable. I have shown you already final variable. So any variable you can declare as a final, local variable or static variable or non-static variable, you can declare as a final. If you declare a final, what will happen? The variable value cannot be
changed.
Constant.
That's all about the main. So can you access static variables under non-static methods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We can use it.
Can you access non-static variables under a static method?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
We cannot use.
So these are the examples. Can you just refer this? Simple. And so this I'm going to cover in the methods. So, but I'm giving here, how can you execute the static method under main method in the same class?
Directly
Call the static method. How can you access one class static variable in another class? I already given. Just now also we discussed. One class static variable in another class.
Class name dot static.
Static variable.
Class name dot static variable. That's what we did. System dot out, system dot in, system dot error. Same, this formula applied here. So how can you access one class static method in another class? Class name dot static method. How can you call the static variable under main method in the same class? Directly call the static variable. So that's all. Check your IQ with these questions. Okay, practice all this and send me your questions also on this. Okay, you have a lot of programs also, exercises. Please do these exercises and send me, and Slack channel you ping me one by one. Okay, so all these exercises you have to do. All these exercises. Okay, please check your IQ. So I'm just going to ping you this. So what is our block? Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. And one more thing I want to cover. So I'm posting